What if $100 a month turned into over $260,000, without a raise, without picking a single stock, and without ever touching it once it started? That's not a hypothetical, that's real math. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how it happens, month by month and year by year, using real numbers and real graphs, not the motivational version. Most people assume $100 is too small to matter, so they wait for a bigger amount or a better year. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why that wait is the single most expensive decision you can make with your money. Before we get into the numbers, one honest disclaimer. This video is for education, not personalized financial advice, and nobody can guarantee future returns. The market goes up, the market goes down, some years are flat, some years are painful. But for the numbers in this video, we're going to use a widely cited long-term average for the stock market, about 7% a year after adjusting for inflation, which is the same assumption used across most retirement calculators and financial planning tools. That's not a promise, it's a historical baseline, and it's the number we'll build every graph around. One more honest note before the timeline. Real markets don't move in a smooth 7% line every single year. Some years are up 20%, some years are down 20%, and the average only shows up if you stay invested through both. This is actually why automating a fixed monthly amount matters so much, because you end up buying at high prices sometimes and low prices other times, and over years that averages out, instead of you trying to guess which months are the right months to invest. The graphs in this video show the smooth long-term average, but the real version of this journey has bumps in it. The bumps are normal. They are not a sign that anything is broken. Let's start with month 1. You open an account. You set up an automatic transfer of $100, and you invest it in a simple, broadly diversified fund. Nothing happens. Literally nothing. The graph is flat. If you check your account, it looks almost identical to what you put in. This is the exact moment most people give up, because there's no visible proof yet that this is working, and boring, invisible progress is the hardest kind to stick with. Now fast forward to year 1. You've contributed $1,200 total. Your account is worth around $1,239. That's it. $39 of growth. If you're picturing a graph, it's still basically a flat line, with the faintest upward curve at the very end. This is where the myth that small amounts don't matter gets reinforced, because on paper, it looks true. 1 year in, the math looks almost embarrassing. But here's what that flat graph is hiding. Every single dollar you've contributed is now sitting inside a machine that compounds, meaning the growth from year 1 adds to the base that year 2 grows from, and that new number grows again in year 3 and again in year 4. It's slow at first because compounding always looks unimpressive early and undeniable late. The curve isn't broken, it's just early. Jump to year 5. You've contributed $6,000. Your account is worth around $7,159. Now the graph starts to visibly separate from a straight line. You've earned about $1,100 that you didn't have to work for, deposit, or even think about. It just accumulated quietly in the background while you lived your life. By year 10, you've contributed $12,000, and your account is worth around $17,300. Look at that gap. $5,300 of pure growth, on top of your contributions, meaning your money has now done almost half a year's worth of extra contributions worth of work without you adding a single additional dollar. The curve on the graph is no longer flat. It's visibly bending upward. Year 15. $18,000 contributed, roughly $31,700 in the account. The growth alone is now worth more than 3 years of your original contributions combined. This is the point where people who started earlier and people who started later begin to look completely different on paper, even if they're contributing the exact same amount going forward. Year 20 is where the graph stops looking like a line and starts looking like a curve bending toward the sky. $24,000 contributed, $52,000 in the account. Your money has more than doubled the amount you actually put in. At this point, growth has contributed more to your account than half of your own contributions did. By year 30, you've contributed $36,000, a meaningful but very achievable amount over 3 decades. Your account is worth around $122,000. Your original contributions now make up less than a third of the total. The rest, roughly $86,000, is growth that came from nowhere but time and consistency. And year 40, a full working career, $48,000 contributed, around $262,000 in the account. Your contributions are less than 1/5 of the total. Everything else, over $214,000, is growth that compounded quietly while you were living an entire life, raising a family, changing jobs, taking vacations, completely unrelated to your investment account. Put two people side by side to see exactly how much that timing matters. Person A starts investing $100 a month at age 25 and never stops. Person B waits 10 years and starts the exact same $100 a month at age 35. By age 65, Person A has been investing for 40 years and has around $262,000, most of it growth. Person B has been investing for 30 years and has around $122,000. Same monthly amount, same rate of return, same discipline, same everything, except 10 years of starting time, and the result is a difference of about $140,000. Person B didn't do anything wrong. Person B just started the clock later, and the clock is the entire game. Here's the part that should actually change how you think about this. The difference between someone who starts at 25 and someone who starts at 35 isn't 10 years of contributions. It's 10 years of compounding, and compounding at the beginning of the timeline is worth dramatically more than compounding at the end, because it has more years left to multiply. The $100 you invest this month is worth more than the $100 you'll invest in 5 years, not because of inflation, but because it has more time to compound. And to be clear, none of this requires you to increase your contribution. $100 a month, held constant, untouched, automated, produces this entire result on its own. If you're able to increase it slightly every year, maybe with a raise or a bonus, the numbers above become dramatically larger. But even if you never increase a single dollar, the math above still plays out. So what does an actual action plan look like? Not invest more, not read another book about investing. An actual plan. You can start today. Step 1. Open an account. A retirement account if your employer offers a match, or a simple standard brokerage account if not. This takes about 15 minutes online. Step 2. Pick one simple, broadly diversified, low-cost index fund. Not 10 funds, not a hot stock tip from social media. One boring, diversified fund that tracks the broader market. Step 3. Automate $100 a month, or whatever amount is genuinely sustainable for your situation, to transfer into that fund on the same day you get paid, before you have a chance to spend it or talk yourself out of it. Step 4. Stop checking it every day. The whole first year looks unimpressive, and watching a flat line daily is the fastest way to convince yourself it isn't working and quit early. Step 5. Once a year, if you can, increase the amount slightly. Even an extra $10 or $20 a month compounds the exact same way as the first 100 did. That's the entire plan. 5 steps, none of which require expertise, none of which require a large income, none of which require perfect timing. So, to recap what actually happens when you start investing $100 a month. Month 1, nothing. Year 1, $39 of growth that feels embarrassing. Year 5, over $1,000 of growth you never had to earn. Year 10, over $5,000. Year 20, more than double your contributions. Year 30, 6 figures. Year 40, over $250,000, most of it growth, not deposits. None of that required a large salary. None of it required perfect market timing. It required opening an account, automating one number, and getting out of your own way long enough for time to do the rest. The $100 was never really the point. Starting the clock was. Thanks for watching, guys. If you found this video valuable, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. And I'll see you in the next one.